What up, y'all? This is Jamba once again with another video. Um, I was about to actually look at this video without even reacting to it, but then I got about 10 seconds in, and I'm like, nah, bro, I gotta rewind it and do a little reaction. Partially because I think I cracked the code as to why she thinks this way. I think I cracked the code, and it didn't take me that long. But I could be wrong. Please comment or tell me why you think I might be wrong on this. This is called "Do You Feel Her?" 30-year-old woman questions if having kids is worth it. Now, before I start the video, people aren't really having kids like I'm not kids like that. I'm not sure if y'all know or are aware. Why can't I talk? Or are aware, but young people especially, we're talking about people in their mid 20s, late 20s, early 30s, are not having kids like they used to, especially here in the West. Places like Canada, places like South Korea, even the birth rate is like plummeting. The birth rate is plummeting in a lot of different parts across the world, especially in these first world countries. Now, obviously, you have things like inflation and student loan debt and people not getting jobs in the economy and all that other stuff. And then also you have this whole gender war, men and women not liking each other and the back and forth. And maybe even this channel might be contributing to it to a certain extent. But I just like to kind of give my commentary. But that being said, so I can understand why. I mean, I still want to have kids, but I can understand why a person may not be as incentivized as to have kids as opposed to a different part in human history. But the truth of the matter is that and this is a more of a conservative talking point, is that it's always been rough for people, whether this is the Great Depression, whether we're talking about other parts of in human history, in different parts of the world where there was slavery or just dark ages, blah 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 blah. Like it's always been kind of tough. It's just never like, when is there actually, if people said this back in the 20s or back in the depression era, or like, we wouldn't be here today. So I'm not going to say we have a civic duty to have kids because our ancestors, and make them proud, but it's always going to be tough, is my point, right? Now, I don't think that the reason why this woman doesn't want to have kids is necessarily based on the economics. I think it's based in something pretty simple. So let's without further ado, man, I'm hungry. Let's dig into this.
I really need someone to tell me if having kids is worth it. I'm 30 years old. I've been married for 6 years. I think my partner would be an amazing dad. And I've been waiting for this moment of clarity to hit me for the last 4 years, and it's just not happening. When I think of myself with a kid today, I'm terrified. But when I think of myself in 20 years, I see myself with a family. How am I supposed to bridge those two people? So please, is the loss of sleep, is the loss of identity, giving up your body, is it worth it? I really need someone to.
Okay, so I'm gonna rewind this. This is only 30 seconds. I'm gonna play this again, and I'm gonna give you, the viewer, about 5 or 10 seconds or so to think about it yourself. What do you think, the viewer? I'm gonna be like Dora the Explorer. What do you think the main reason as to why this woman doesn't want to have kids? She basically said it without her explicitly saying it. Let's go back.
I really need someone to tell me if having kids is worth it. I'm 30 years old. I've been married for 6 years. I think my partner would be an amazing dad. And I've been waiting for this moment of clarity to hit me for the last 4 years, and it's just not happening.
Who knows why she doesn't want to have kids? Do y'all know? Did you get it? Did you get it? Did you hear what she said?
I'm 30 years old. I've been married for 6 years. I think my partner would be an amazing dad. And I've been waiting for this.
I think some of y'all got it. The main reason why she doesn't want to have kids is because of the person that she's married to. She doesn't want to have, it's not that she doesn't want to have kids, she doesn't want to have his kids. That man does not inspire her to have or sire his seed. She said in the video he would make an amazing dad. It's it's a different mindset. The it's basically, and I'm not saying that men who make great dads are beta males, but it's more of a beta, for lack of a better word, mind frame that she's viewing her man from, as opposed to an alpha one. So, for example, when women look at a guy like Jason Momoa, when they look at a guy like Javante Rhodes, when they look at a guy like, trying to think of another guy, Travis Kelce maybe, or whatever. Like when they look at it, I'm just throwing out names here. You can Channing Tatum, whatever. Their first thought isn't Channing Tatum would make a great dad. No, the first thought would be, oh, I want to fuck Channing Tatum. I want to have his kids. I want to, his DNA, his genetics is so great that I want his genetics inside me and then make more of him. It's a subconscious thing. Now these same women might look at a guy like Russell Wilson, or a guy who is of a different caliber, who might still be attractive. I'm not saying that she doesn't think her man is attractive, but her partner is clearly not inspiring feelings of, I want to procreate with this man. That's why she went to, I'm not, it's not a bad thing to be with a man who will make a great dad, but this is this is the disconnect. This is the disconnect here. You know, she's 30 years old. She's been married for 6 years. So that means she married him when he was 20. They were around 24. So this is clearly a guy who has some conservative values or what have you, right? Um, so yeah, I think I cracked it, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong. But what do you think? This is a quick one. I want to pump this out since it's only 30 seconds. But like and subscribe.